Hi, George.
Hi.
I want to get started with web development. Where do I start? What do I need?
Okay, so when you're getting started with web development, there are two sides of websites. There's the front end and there's the back end. So when you're starting out, you need to define which part you'll start with. I advise starting with the front end. So for the front end, there are technologies and tools that you use. And the first one that you need to learn is HTML. HTML defines the structure and the markup of your website. So you start with HTML. This can take about 1 week. And then you move on to CSS. CSS is cascading style sheets. So this one is used to style your HTML pages that you've created. And it's a very essential part that many people miss. And then the third part is JavaScript, JS. So once you're done with HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, you can now move on to GitHub and Git. If you learn these 4 technologies, you can call yourself a front-end developer. But wait, not just yet. There's also CSS frameworks like Bootstrap and Tailwind CSS, and there's also JavaScript frameworks like React. And there's also like React, Next.js, Vue.js, and so many. And Svelte, there's so many. So you double down on choosing one that suits what you want to work on. You can choose Vue.js, you can choose Tailwind CSS, any. Just learn one framework for each, CSS and JavaScript. So once you're done with this, you can now move on to the backend. So the backend is where the processing comes in. This is the thing that not many people are able to see. So the backend is, you define the language that you want to use. For example, if you're a Python developer and you've chosen Python as the go-to language, you can choose the Python frameworks. There's Django and there's Flask. If you've decided to go with JavaScript, there are also frameworks like Express.js that you can use. If you've decided to go with PHP, you can use Laravel. Either way, once you're done with this, you'll become a web developer, a full stack web developer. But if you choose to go, let's say, front end alone and you don't do the back end, you're a front end developer, or you can be a back end developer. But if you do both, you become a full stack developer.